Alrighty guys, yo, what up? So quickly just finished rendering this out. Actually didn't finish it, I cut it off early because it was taking a while, but we're gonna make this or render out this texture here. I'm gonna show you guys how I added the dirt and the silver metal, and again just playing in Blender Octane. So let's get into it. Alright, so I've already got my scene set up here. Basically this is the scene. As far as lighting, I've got this sight dome kind of going around it, and I've got one light, and this light here is actually an emission. I probably should have changed that to, matter of fact, I'm going to change that to emission black body 6500. That's better. And then I've got this panel here, which I have like a little bit of gray material. It's acting as a bounce light to bounce light back onto the side of our guy here. So quickly fire up the render, show you what it looks like. I have an HDI, but it's very, very low, like 0.2. So it's not even, it's just adding a little bit of stuff, a little bit of light into the scene. Okay, so this back one already has a material on it. Just a little gold material, that copper material that I was playing with. So for now, I'm actually going to go ahead and kill that. And we're just going to be working on this one here in the front here. So, and wanted to kill that back material. It's going to crank up my render times for now. Just take it off. And just restart that. Click on this guy here. And I'm going to go ahead and drop a render region on this here just to save a little bit of processing time. Control B. And bada bing. Move that right about there. All right, so first thing first, we're going to go ahead and drop in a new material. And on this material, first thing I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and change a couple of things here. I'm going to go to GGX Energy Preserve. I'm going to change my base color to black. Like that. I'm going to take my metallic, crank that up to 1. And then I think I left pretty much everything else was pretty much stock. Let me take a look at my notes here quickly. So antiprosperity was set to, spread was set to 0.5. Okay, now we need to change our IOR values. Definitely need to change those. So come down here to artistic. I'm going to change this to RGB IOR. And then what we're going to do is we're going to type in, we're just going to do silver here. So we're 1.35. Then we're going to go to 7.47. In the green, we've got 0.97. I'll have the website where you can get these values in. I have a previous video where I showed you the site where you can get these values. 6.4, they're like, you know, close to scientifically valued. And we'll go 5.3. All right, and that's pretty much it for that. So let's take a look and see what we got. The other guys, I'm gonna start closing up some of these. Okay, boom, there it is, super shiny metal, right? All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is dull this thing up, right? Because it's just way too shiny. I'm gonna come in here, drop in a noise texture. We're gonna throw that into the roughness. And then we're gonna add in a UV projection. That's looking a little bit better there. And I'm gonna go ahead and preview my nose. And we're gonna go 9. Taking a little bit of time for node ringer to kick in. There it goes. And we're gonna go 0.81. Again, I've already had these values just because I've just literally just finished doing this about 20 minutes ago. Gamma, I'm gonna go 1.5. I'm gonna take my contrast, put it to 3, and then I'm gonna take my noise and go down to like 0.3, something like that, just mixing it up a little bit. Good. And then go ahead and jump back over to that. All right, we got a little bit of patchiness there going. Okay, I can dig it. So next what I want to do is add in a little bit of bump onto this too here, because it's I'm actually gonna do this. Hang on, let's just zoom in. Kind of get a good view here, reflection, so we can see a little bit of, there we go. Get up just a little bit so I can see the detail on this noise that we're gonna do. So first thing I'm gonna do is bring in a wave pattern. Bring in a wave pattern. I'm gonna take these bottom values. I'm gonna drop this one down to like a gray, and this actually pull out the saturation. Then I'm gonna put this one to black, like that. And let's go ahead and plug this in. If you hold down Shift Alt, right mouse, hold, and release, and then you can just drop it in. Select the channel you want. I want the bump. And where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Bump, 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 bump. There it is. Bump. Okay, and then I'm gonna change this to 1. Let me give this a value of 1. And then I'm gonna go -1 on this one here. So what I'm gonna try to do is get these little tiny like lines, like it's been scraped with some type of like I don't know, drill, or been like filed a little bit. Look, so let's see what's that looking like. Let me get a UV projection popped in here too. UV projection. I think it had some weird numbers here. I'm gonna round them off this time. We're gonna go 25. We're gonna go 8, and then we'll go 46. And I don't know why we should be seeing something here. I had this on X, I had this on sine. Plugged into the bump, plugged into the bump. Come back over here. And I don't know why it's not showing up. This is the third time I've had to reinstall Node Wrangler. Like it's like literally been just acting up. I don't know what's going on with it. Let me add a little bit more bump here. I'll go 0.902. And I really can't see it because my Node Wrangler's not working. Yeah, it's connected. Thing is just super laggy today. Dude, what's going on with that? Okay, well, moving on. That's what you have to deal with when you use a 1050 Ti. Alright, so I'm gonna add in a noise. Noise texture. And I'm gonna plug this noise texture. I don't know why I'm not seeing my wave pattern going on with that. Again, on this guy here, I had a value of 0.08. Then I'm gonna drop this down to chips. Let's see if we can see this in the Node Wrangler. So shift. And I had this at 8. This was at 0.83. The value of, okay, I can see that a little bit. 2.36. That's working. And then I went maybe 20. Add a UVW transform. Like that. And I had a value of 0.02. Have that set to chips. And again, these values are, how come I can barely see anything? Okay, there it is. It's working. Yeah, I'm gonna give me actually I had that value set to 2. I'm gonna bring it up just a little bit. A little bit more so we can see a little bit more of that. Maybe something like that. Jump back over here. All right, I can see a little bit of bump action happening right there and right there, but I'm not seeing the first one. So, but what I'm going to take these two guys here, and what I'm going to do is add a multiply texture, so we can hook them both up, and bring this guy down to here, and let's plug this guy. Maybe this will show up to there. Yeah, I'm really bummed that these lines are not coming through. Oh, what up, what up, what up? I watched your stream in browser translation. I wish I knew English at a good level. Just wanted to say it's interesting watching you. Thanks for the content. You're welcome. Thanks. Yes, sorry about the language. I know. I live in Japan, so I know what it's like. Let's see here. I want these little tiny lines to show up. And I don't know why they're not showing up. In the original, they weren't showing up too well. Yeah, dude, I don't know what's up my Node Wrangler's just not having a good day with Node. Okay, we're moving on. So we got the bump there. Now what I'm gonna do is add in the dirt. So what we're gonna do to add in the dirt here, let's go full screen here for a moment. Drag this guy out over here. I'm gonna add in a material mix texture, no mix material, because we're gonna mix in a second material. All right, that's our first material. Our second material is going to be a diffuse. And I'm gonna give it like a dirty, grungy color. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give it too dirty. Hang on, let's go add a gradient map. Plug this into the diffuse. Like that. And then I'm gonna take this and lighten it up just ever so slightly. Give it a little bit of a dingy light color. I think it's still a little bit too black. Let's give it a little bit more. Something like that. And then I'm gonna take this guy. I'm gonna copy this, go to this guy, paste it, and I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit more. That. So we just got this. I think this one is still a little bit too dark. I want this to be a little bit more gray, like a flat gray. Okay, I like that. So now what we're gonna do, Birthday, what up? Alex, what's up? Absolutely fantastic video that you just did on the grids. Now I'm gonna add in a dirt node because I love getting dirty. So go with dirt. And my dirt texture. I'm gonna drop this guy in here. Come on, come on. Drop that into the amount. And then, let's see. I want to go ahead and solo this so I can see what this is looking like. I'm at work, but with you in my thoughts. Come on, fetch, come on. Don't get in trouble, bro. Nice. CG Lab, what up? All right, so what are we doing here? Let's get the strength cranked up to 10. I'm gonna go 4 on the details. Go 3 on the radius. And then I'm probably going to break this up. You know what? On my spread, I'm gonna go 0.8 on my spread. And I think my distribution, I had it like at 70.3. It's kind of heavy. It's kind of heavy. But let's get a, what was I gonna do? I think I'm gonna put in here in a, I know what I'm gonna do. Check this out. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna add in a, what is it called? It's called a UV transform. And I'm gonna take the noise that I'm using already from here, that we're using down here. We're gonna drag this noise into this input and plug this into this radius map. And then let's add in this so I can use that same noise. I'm just gonna recycle that noise, but I'm gonna change the scale. Save on some resources. Does Octane render in Blender work the same way as in 3D Max, or are the strong fundamentals different? Perhaps the question may be unclear. I haven't used 3D Max, but just from watching, like, what is it, Cinema 4D videos, I'm able to reverse engineer Cinema 4D videos into Blender, so it works fairly. Like I can make most of the nodes work. I can work it pretty good. So I mean, if you're using Cinema 4, Octane for 3D Max, you just basically like learn the Blender interface. But once you get into the nodes, you should be okay. Now I'm gonna use this to break up that noise pattern a little bit. Hang on here. You kind of see what I'm doing there. Just trying to break up that pattern so it's not so smooth. Something like that. Okay, I think that might work. Now let's see what this looked like. Yeah, in the community, I think we have a couple of guys who came from 3D Max. Okay. Not really happy the way that's looking right now. I want it to be a little bit more dirty. It's still too silvery. So what I'm gonna do, check this out. Let's go ahead and grab this dirt node, make a duplicate. I'm gonna bring this down over here. I'm gonna plug this into here. Let's see what this does. See what this does to it. It makes a little bit of difference. Go 0.2. And let's go maybe 2, 1. Okay, it's getting a little bit more dirty there. 1, maybe. Take this distribution back to 1. Let's set all this stuff to 1. Okay. Now, let me see what happens if I do this. And maybe we do a little bit of this. Still doesn't seem dingy enough for me. Like my other one came out way more dingier. Hang on. Let me look at my reference. Because the other one I had a reference photo I should have saved it, but I didn't. So now I'm going to use my past render for the reference. Yeah, this one is looking not as dingy as the other one. My other one had a lot more. Where's that photo? Let's load up that photo. Oh no 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 no! Don't open that. It's opening another Blender. Don't do that. It's opening another Blender file. No. If it crashes, it might crash because this might be opening two Blender files right now. But I hope it doesn't. Okay, let's see. This is the one I did earlier, like literally like an hour ago. I have a lot more dirt here. Like I like the way this one, like here I have a lot more dirt. And it doesn't feel like this one has. Well, you know what? Because we're looking at it at a different angle too. Hang on, let me back up here. That's another thing too. No, it still doesn't look as. It just doesn't look like the other one. Okay, so what can we do? Let's try. This guy's open all the way up to 10. Let's open this guy up a little bit more. Radius. Take this up a little bit. Let me actually get back to the composition that I had it before. Yeah, that was the shot I had before. Yeah, dude, I don't know. Let's just give me 5 on the radius here. Maybe this one up here, top. What's my tolerance? Let's open up the tolerance a little bit. Tolerance. Huh. And 10 is the max. Well, I don't know. Control Alt B. And this one looks a little bit brighter than the other one too, for some reason. Let me go back to this side here. Put that material back on this guy. Which one did I use? It was a copper. Copper. Oh, what happened to the material that I had on there? Material 3? Yeah, material 3. Okay. Go back and unmute that. Yeah, it's a little bit brighter too. I don't know what's going on compared to my original render. Original render came out way better. You can see here, like I had a lot more thickness. It's not, you know what? Maybe it's the size of the dirt spread. That might be slightly different. It might be a little bit larger. And it looks like I have lost. There it goes. Yeah, my composition for a moment there. Okay, good. Okay, I think I may know why it's off. that depth of field, I need to kill it. It's so lagging down my viewport right now, guys. I can't even work. This depth of field is killing me right now. Hang on. Let's see what we got here. Have a good stream and lots of views. I hope there's recordings. Yeah, I normally post them back up after a little. I'll leave them up there. The gradient resistant. Why is the gradient generator sometimes necessary when working with gradient maps and other times not? New question. Why is the gradient generator gradient map or gradient generator sometimes necessary? Well, um that's a good question. I don't Gradient generator for me is I guess you just kind of use it to clamp your values a little bit too, like to make things a little bit more tighter. It's like a really versatile tool. Like you can use it for quite a lot. I think this is my math over here is off. Hang on for a second. Let me try to. I think it's too big. The spread is too big. Let's go down like 0.3. Okay, there we go. There we go. It's getting a little bit more dirty in there. Okay. Yeah. Let's go like 0.3 there. And then it still just doesn't look the same as the other one. Whatever. That's what that's all about. Rendering. Let's try this value. Let's see what my noise is doing down here at the bottom. I was at 8.8, 83, 65. Let's go with the gamma. Maybe, you know what? I did have a different gamma though. 3. So let me try this gamma. Let's pump up the gamma a little. Ooh, no way. That's not what we had going. You know what? Let's invert that. Ah, there it is. I forgot to invert it. There it is. That's what I was looking for. Yep, that's it. Yeah, it was just looking a little light and sparse. I don't know why, but that was it. And then let me pull this back a little bit. All right, there we go. So that's gonna be like the whole setup. That's pretty much the whole setup. It's not a lot. Let me quickly show the node setup. Boom, there it is. So we break it down. We've got the silver material here. This is the silver material. And then from here, we added the texture, the noise texture here on the roughness, just to break it up a little bit. And then I took 2 materials here for the bump. This pattern line never came through. Like I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just a Octane glitch or something. But this, let me see if we can see it in the original. This is the original that I just did. So, see, and you can barely see it. It was showing up in the viewport, but it's not really showing up in the render. It was like these little slight lines, just a little bit of like you were taking a file to it or something, but you're not really coming through. So we got 2 patterns here that we're mixing, multiply those together into the bump. And then that was our silver. Then we're mixing our silver with our dirt. Here's our dirt, our diffuse. I use a diffuse node so we don't have to worry about any glossiness. So dirt is dirt. Got that going, and then I put a gradient map here. Here's I'm using a gradient map with 2 colors just so I can get that a little bit of dirty brown in there and a little bit of black. Soot, like ashy soot color. And then I'm using the dirt node also in here to mix that up so it's just not one, again, just adding little micro details on it. And then again, we have the dirt node here at the top. And then I'm taking the radius map, which is the edge of the dirt, so it's not smooth and clean. And we're just recycling that noise pattern from down here. And I'm pumping it back into this here. This allows you to just recycle the noise, and then I can change the parameters on it with this node here. So I'm saving resources. So it works out really good. And then we got that, and then let's jump back over. Let it compile. And boom, there it is. So for my render settings on this, for the first one I did, it took a while. Like I didn't even finish the render. I cut it off. Like I said, I have what was my render settings? I didn't change them. Here it is. 500 max samples. My viewport is at 100. Diffuse 8, specular 8, scatter 8. I could actually take that down to maybe even 4. Probably don't even need that much. Probably even go 2 because there's actually technically there's no scattering in this. And you know what? Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna cut all of these in half because it was taking like for 500. It took 38 minutes just to get to 200, so it was taking a long time, and I cut it off because I didn't want to wait for it. So I'm gonna bring these samples down to 400 there, and that's pretty much it. I did check this AI lighting. I don't know if that cranked up the render time or not, but I don't know. That's something I was talking with somebody else in the group, the community group, on a live stream, and he had some really cool results when he used this AI lighting. So I'm gonna turn it on again just to see what happens. And that's pretty much it. That was all my settings. So I'll set it for 500 samples and just let it render while I go to bed. And that's what I'll do, and make sure I just turn off that render region, Control Alt B. And I need to turn back on my depth of field. Hello guys, how are you changing? How you change the lines that connect loads to straight instead of bend? Oh, you know what? I don't know how I did that. This profile here, I'm actually using a different profile that I normally wouldn't use, and it came with, yeah, I normally have curved lines, but yeah, um, I don't know. Let me quickly see if we can look really quick. I think that might have been in node preferences. We go to Octane, and then I go down to Node Wrangler. Let's see if it's in here. No, it's not here. Oh, you know where I think it might be? Hang on. Interface, viewport, themes. Hang on, themes. And I think it might be in node editor. Noodle curving. Noodle curving. Curving of the noodles. I think it might be this. Let's crank that up to 10 and see. Yep, there it is. That's how you do that. So, if you want your noodles to if you want your noodles to be curly, that's how you do it. You go to preferences. Uh-oh, don't crash. Don't crash. Thank you. You go to noodles. Where was I? You go back to viewport. No, what did I say? Themes. You go to themes, node editor, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and noodle curving right there. You can change it. Actually, we're just gonna put like 3 for me, and then do that. Boom, and there it is. Now I just got a slight little bit of noodle curving. Almost here. Alrighty, guys. So I'm gonna let